What up, it's your boy Pat, aka That Varsity Geek, here with another weekend recommendation video for you guys for the weekend of May 22nd through 24th. Now for all you soccer fans, I have some great news for you. The German soccer league, Bundesliga, has started back up, and they are now playing their games again, so that is some sporting event that has come back recently. It's the first European soccer league to start back up during this pandemic time, and so that's really encouraging. Now, as with anything else, they're going to try to keep safety a priority, so there are going to be some changes. There aren't going to be any fans allowed at these events. Only 322 people are going to be allowed at any stadium at any given time. And that'll be divvied up by, players, coaches, referees down on the pitch, your journalists, your emergency staff, your hygiene people up in the stands, and then security even farther out around the stadium and upper in the stands as well. And so since it's one of the first sporting leagues to open back up, it'll definitely be interesting to see how things go with them, whether everything goes smoothly or whether they have a spike and everything has to shut back down again. And so, this is really just a trial and a shot in the dark of trying to get sports back. And so it'll be interesting and valuable information whichever way it goes. Now in Bundesliga, there are 18 teams, so there should be plenty of soccer for you guys to watch. Now because of the lack of fans, I'm sure the spectacle of it all will take a hit. Because fans are a really huge part of soccer energy, whether you're watching it on TV, or you're actually there in the stadium, or if you're just trying to get hyped for your team. But it is still something for soccer and sports fans to be able to watch. We have to be happy for that at least. Now fortunately for us in the US, Fox will be broadcasting this Bundesliga games, as well as Hulu Live, Fubo TV, and other streaming platforms showing them as well. So if you're looking forward to this and looking forward to watching soccer, there's definitely ways for you to watch this in the US and in other countries. Now in terms of Fox, the games will primarily be showed on their FS1 and FS2 channels. There will be a game on today, Friday, May 22nd at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. So about half an hour after this video drops, if you're looking for soccer, go check out FS1 and you can watch that. They'll also be showing games at 9:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. tomorrow, and they'll be having games on Sunday as well. So there's plenty of soccer for you over the weekend if that's what you want to get into. Now for all you nerds and you geeks out there, we're going to be talking some Digimon, digital monsters. So last week, Hulu dropped the first 4 seasons of Digimon onto the streaming platform, which would be, Digimon Adventure Seasons 1 and 2, Digimon Tamers, and Digimon Frontier. And as an avid Digimon fan myself, I'm hyped to be able to watch these whenever I want, because they haven't really been on a lot of streaming platforms consistently. The original season was released in 1999 here in the US, and it follows a group of children known as the Digi-Destined as they go on an adventure trying to save both the real world and the digital world. And each season, especially the first 4 to 5, really stick to this kind of motif. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say the digital world, it's pretty much the world that is created with all the data from digital devices, whether it be phones, computers, any of your electronics, etc. In this world, all of that data is condensed and ends up creating its own new world called the digital world, where Digimon inhabit. And Digimon are creatures that have amazing powers, such as fireballs, freezing blasts, rocket launchers, etc. And they also have the ability to digivolve and become stronger. Now Digimon was one of the big hitters in the late 90s, early 2000s, when you're talking about children's shows or anime, and was really the direct competition to Pokemon. Now in terms of show quality, I give it the edge over Pokemon, because I think it had much more developed characters and story arcs, and really never shied away from some of the heavier, darker series tone, whereas Pokemon was just kind of lighthearted throughout the entire thing. But that's just my opinion. But an example of this is in Season 3, one of the main characters loses her Digimon in a fight, and she goes through a deep depression afterwards, which will eventually let her be controlled by the enemy. But Digimon was not shy to deal with this kind of stuff. They're talking about mental health in the early 2000s, and we weren't even on mental health that way at that time. And that's part of why I love it. It never shied away from serious, heavy topics like that. Digimon was another one of those shows that I grew up as a kid loving and watching, and was another one of those intro shows that would shape and form my love for anime as a whole. And like I said earlier, the Digimon shows really haven't been consistently available on any streaming site, which is why putting it on Hulu is so dope for any of us who watch Digimon, or for people who are trying to get into it. So this is definitely something that you should go back and check out if you're looking for some geek and nostalgia, or if you have kids or other small relatives, this is a perfect time for you to introduce them to the world of Digimon. And now, if you're looking for a video game to get into over the weekend, I suggest that you check out Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Now this is the newest Star Wars action-adventure game from developer EA, and it was dropped on November 19, 2019. It follows the story of a Padawan named Cal Kestis, after Order 66 happens and he survives. Now Cal manages to escape Order 66 and remains in hiding for a good amount of time. But he's exposed during a work accident and he ends up getting hunted down by the Empire after that, so he has to go on the run. So you see Cal go on a journey to repair his connection to the Force and also to try to rebuild the Jedi Order. Now I'm currently running through the game myself and the visuals on this game look amazing, especially if you're talking about on the PS4 Pro, which is the system that I run on. Now the sound work for this game is fantastic and it plays really well to the environment and to the action. Whether it's the sound of blaster fire, your lightsaber slicing through enemies, or just the sounds of the environment as a whole. Everything is really well sounded and it sounds great when you're going through the game. Now it follows the path of games like Uncharted, in which there are heavy puzzle, platforming, and adventure aspects to the game. However, fighting is not neglected in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. The game revolves around a Dark Souls-esque fighting system in which the enemies are really strong, really smart, they can kill you pretty easily, so you can't just be button mashing around trying to kill enemies that way. You really have to pay attention to the enemy's patterns and use the right move at the right time in order to win these fights. It's super frustrating when you're not getting it right and you're dying, but when you do get everything tied up perfectly, it's beautiful and it's so rewarding. And also, similar to games like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, if an enemy kills you, they take all your extra experience up until that point, and the only way to get it back is to go back to that area and land damage on that enemy. And then it all comes back to you. There are a lot more quirky, fun things about combat, the environment, and other things, but I'll leave those for you to discover on your journey through Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. It has a good and an entertaining story all throughout that will make you care about these characters, and the more that you dive into the world of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the more you learn and the more rewarding it is whenever anything happens story-wise. And luckily, unlike a lot of other EA titles, especially like Battlefront was in the beginning when they came out, there are no microtransactions for this game at all, which is a welcome sight. Now it was on sale for Star Wars Day on May 4th at 50% off. That's when I copped it and picked it up, which is why I'm playing it right now. So if you got it that time, congrats to you, that was a great time to pick it up. But it's also on sale now through the 26th of May for 40% off. So if it's been a game that you've been wanting to get and you were just kind of waiting for the price to drop, now it's still a really good time to pull the trigger and go ahead and pick it up. They even released a couple of patches this month. On May 4th, they added New Game Plus features, a couple of other like battle arena type features and things like that, as well as the ability to have a red kyber crystal so you can have that red Sith color lightsaber and all those kinds of things. And this newest update that dropped last week fixed a lot of graphical errors and glitches, which is really going to make the gameplay smoother and more consistently. So if you've been looking to pick this game up and have just been shy on the trigger, definitely go ahead and get it. It's a great time to play it because now they fixed a lot of problems, so they're not going to deal with those early game issues that a lot of other people have. Now these are just some more recommendations that I have for you guys this week. Let me know how you're feeling about them. Now as always, let me know if there's anything that you think that I should add to these videos, some things that are super hype in the world of sports, nerd stuff, or video games that I just didn't get to. What are your thoughts on Bundesliga coming back with some soccer? What are your thoughts on Digimon? What are your favorite seasons, your favorite character, your favorite Digivolutions, things like that? What did you think of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order if you picked it up? If you haven't picked it up, are you going to? Did you enjoy your time playing it? All those kinds of things. As always, chop it up with me and everybody else in the comments. Drop any kind of information or comments to support you have in there. I've been Pat that Varsity Geek with another weekend recommendation video for you guys. Peace out. Have a great weekend.